Ladies and gents, boys and girls, and of course Monday night, here we go, 6:30 through till 8 o'clock this evening, and it is the Tilton Talk Show, bringing you all the news and views of not only ourselves, but your good selves as well. Sponsored by, of course, Tamworth Small Affordable Cars, and in conjunction with Image Cleaning. We've got a Boston team in tonight. Boston, ladies and gentlemen. But before I introduce the team, crikey, I've been in a bit of blooming trouble over the weekend. Crikey, no chazzer. This might become a regular feature. Well, she went mad at me, ladies and gentlemen. All I did was put ginger in the curry. Crikey. She blooming loved that cat.
Oh, dear.
Oh. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. No. Introduce you to the team, Mark Adams.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all okay.
Chris Browne.
Good evening.
Chairman of the board, Watton.
Good evening, everybody.
Paulie Hipkiss.
Good evening, all.
And Claire Newhouse Giblin.
Good evening.
Have I missed anybody? Yeah, infamous.
Evening, all.
What's his name? What's his name?
Every week.
Have I missed anybody else out, or is that it?
Yeah, you missed me as well. You saved the best till last night.
Oh, there he is. Great. Courtney.
Good evening, all.
I did know, Craig. I was just winding you. Sorry.
He didn't.
I'm in a devilish mood tonight, I think. A devilish mood.
Mark Meredith. We introduced
Mark. Yeah, Mark.
Good evening, all.
Hi, Mark.
All the way from Texas in the United States of America.
Billy Bob.
Actually, Mark, can you give us an impression of an English accent, please, tonight? You know, can we forget this mixed sort of accent? Can we have
should we all talk in American accents tonight, then?
No, please don't.
I'm trying.
Chris,
You like the Gong Show?
Chris, you were on my camera when you said that, and your head didn't even move. Right, ladies and gents, we go 2-0 up, and unfortunately, right at the last gasp, 2-2, 1 point out of the last, was it 12?
Yeah.
1 point out of 12. And don't forget, we were lying sixth. I'm not looking at anyone. I'm not. Just need to gauge a bit of reaction here. Paul, did you go?
I did, yeah. I was very impressed. Yeah, in the first half, that was some of the best football I've seen for a long time, I've got to say. We played what Rooney was trying to do to perfection. The problem is, though, it's, fitness levels, isn't it? We've got to be able to last. If we can do that for 90 minutes, then we'll be a damn good side in this division, but it's so hard to do that for 90 minutes, isn't it? But in the first half, we just played them off the park, really, didn't we? But obviously got the 2 goal lead or got the 1 goal lead, sorry, and then got the second goal in the second half, which I thought we more than deserved as well. We were by far the better side up until when we got the second goal.
Own goal, wasn't it? Apparently.
Yeah, it was an own goal. Yeah. Bakuna sent it across, and their players deflected it into his own net.
They all count, mate. They all count.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Stanfield's goal was good as well. But no, I've got to say, Laird, what a difference he makes at right back, and then we put Drama left back, and that completely made us a completely different side altogether. And I like Longello, but just not at left back. I think he could play left wing. But going forwards, he's very good with the ball at his feet. But defensively, he does get a little bit found out at times, but that's just not his position. He's not a defender, he's an attacking player. So I think the first thing Rooney should do in the window is try and get some backup for Buchanan. If we can at some point, try and get a more renowned left back in, a bit like we've got 2 good options at right back with Drama and Laird. We need the same on the other side, because if we can do that, then we'll solve more problems that we've got. But I just think Stansfield is a special player as well. If we
can we hang on to him? That's the big issue, isn't it?
Well, we've got him for the season. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, Fulham could have done with him on Saturday, to be honest with you. He would have been better than he was playing up front for Fulham on Saturday, in my opinion. I watched a bit of that before I went down the Blues, and, don't mean to get onto Fulham at all, but, Stansfield would have been, I think, a better option than that Vinicius who was playing for Fulham. But I don't want to shout about that too loud because, we want him, we do want him. And if we did sign him, that would be a major coup because I think he's at least £10 million worth. I really do. When you look the top player in this division, and you think Shay Adams went for 16 million, was it? We got 16 million for Shay Adams. I think he could be every bit as good in time. He's only 20, so I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders, but I do think that he could get over 20 goals for us this season. The way
cool. I'll gauge some reaction from the lady with a very nice wallpaper behind her. Claire.
There ain't no
Now,
lady.
Mark, you mean Mark, Nick? No, you mentioned, you said lady, so yeah, Mark first.
I know, yeah, I haven't been called lady for a while.
No, we've got no.
I thought we were brilliant. First half, I was like, this is like, compared to all the other games we've seen, brilliant. I think he highlighted it in the interview after the game. You know, when you've got people like Billick coming on, who I don't know what's happened to him, Longello and things like that. The game totally changed. I think if we get the fitness up and he can bring on other people who have got the fitness, I think, you know, it's a positive start. I was gutted we only got a point, but it had been coming in the second half. I just think, you know, Longello again, I know we had to point him out, but you know, both goals either came from the left or he was back post again. So I just think it's something he needs to work on. But I think, you know, I thought Miyoshi was good. I thought James had an excellent game. The balls he was doing, but Laird was sensational. And I know he's my favourite, but he was, you could just tell he's just got that extra little bit. And I think he's made for how Rooney wants to play. And I think Buchanan as well coming back. You know, it just makes you feel more solid at the back. I think Ayew was brilliant. But the refereeing decisions, you know, when that bloke took Drama out, that should have been a yellow, call back yellow. You know, and then Ayew rolls the ball to Ruddy. And okay, it's time wasting. But the amount of yellows that they should have had, and then we all of a sudden get them. I don't think the referee was great either, but I'll take a point and, you know, more optimistic going Sunderland, I think.
Definitely.
Right, okay, well summed up, mate. Nice one. Anybody else there?
To shave,
I was there.
Yeah,
I was just when they took Laird off, my heart sank because I thought, what's he going to do here? And basically, we went back to last week's back four, which basically played like they did last week for 10. It was only 10 minutes, but it cost us in the end. That's how good Laird was. Not only was he our best player, he just shut that side of the pitch down. There was nothing coming from there. And 20 seconds after he went off, they scored. The bloke skinned the other drama, turned him inside out, bumped the balls across. As you say, you know, we got 3 or 4 defenders who couldn't deal with the cross, and it got put in. And I actually felt sorry for Wayne Rooney because he doesn't realise, and if Saturday makes him realise, that's a good thing. Is that if bad things can happen, they will at St Andrews. I mean, Manchester United could have lost the best player in the world and they wouldn't have conceded 2 goals. We lose 1 and we fall apart. And he'd done everything right. He made the right, even the substitution of Laird. Laird could have stayed until the end, but why risk him for another 8 weeks for space of 10 minutes? And I thought he did everything right. I looked at the team sheet and I thought, what else is going on here? No Dembele, but Burke's still in the side. But Burke played up front and he did a good job. And I felt so sorry for the bloke. You know, he's done he could have done any more than what he did, and then he got undone by an injury, basically. And I agree with Claire about the referee. That booking of the time wasted, it was after 20 minutes. We're going to time waste after 20 minutes, are we? All he was doing, he was going to take the goal kick, decided the goalkeeper would take it, and just give him the ball. Now, that's exactly the same thing happened in the girls' match the following day. The referee did nothing. Ludicrous.
I mean, I said it at the time, but the rules of the game are that if you commit a foul and you're taking out a player, as he did in that first couple of minutes of the game, it makes no difference whether it's a couple of minutes in, 20 minutes in, 70 minutes in. It's a foul. It's a booking. The referees just seem to be, for me, too lenient within the first few minutes of the games, almost to say to people, "Oh, well, you know, you've got to have a chance to calm down." No, they've committed a bookable offence. Therefore, it should have happened straight away. Instead, the inconsistency was just totally ridiculous, because we had one going down the other end where a very similar type of foul, and straight away out came the card. It's just wrong. But also, I'll tell you what else is wrong. Premiership referee gets relegated to the Championship because they have a bad performance in the Premiership. Right? What are we? Are we a second-hand football league or something? Because that's not right.
Yeah.
You know, it should be
suspended. Suspended. Stop.
Yeah.
You watch the telly next week, pal, because you're not going near a football match again.
And
So the
paid.
decisions that referee made at that game obviously influenced the game. Why didn't they replay it as well then?
Well, they did a VAR check on it, and that's the problem.
right.
It was the Wolves game. They did a VAR check and told him, but I completely agree with you, Craig.
Do we
I mean,
know?
at the end of the day, a referee is paid to do a job. If they're in, it doesn't matter what league they're in. If they underperform, they should then either not be paid for the job that they've just done because they've underperformed, or they don't get to ref another game, like you say, a suspension, Watto, and then that way they're also not paid. But actually, what we get is we just get, oh, you've been naughty in the Premier League. It's all right. You can go and ref a Championship match and do exactly the same and still get paid for doing a bad job.
It's like Craig, it's like a second bite of the cherry, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not fair.
It's like, you get a second chance, but it's just
Craig,
ridiculous.
Do we know that if a ref has a good game in the Championship, and I know there's not many of them, certainly when it comes to Blues, but if a ref has a good game in the Championship, does he get promoted to the Prem then as well, and to replace who's been demoted to the Championship? Is that right?
They do, yeah, because the lady that refed our game against Middlesbrough, Rebecca, I can't remember her surname.
Welsh.
Yeah.
She's just got herself, and I think she was actually she worked in the Premier League for the first
Fourth
time.
official for the Man U game.
So they do get that opportunity to be promoted. So I'm all in favour of the, promotion relegation side of things, but it can't be based on performance, and making bad decisions. You make a bad decision that influences a game, you shouldn't ref another game, or at least have a break until you've learned what's there. The other thing I've got to say, a name we haven't said, but for me, was outstanding, and the best game I've seen him in a Blues shirt, and we've slated him a lot, is Burke. Right, we gave him a hell of a lot of abuse.
He had a good game.
A lot of people said
He was
that,
absolutely phenomenal running that line, and for me, perhaps the number 9 position for him is his best position. He should have scored.
You should have buried that one, yeah.
Yeah. But
Don't we think that? Sorry, Paul. Don't we think though that Burke has I know I'm not being dramatic, but he has a little touch of Rooney about him, as in the way he plays, his personality. So I think Rooney could get the best out of him. I'm not comparing him to Rooney, but you know what I mean. There's there's attributes there.
as well, yeah, I think, yeah.
No, I can't see that, but I generally think he had his best game. But I think it's because he was given more of a free role.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes being put down. Like, he's not somebody that I think would be up and down. Well, actually, over the top, when you got Stansfield and Burke running, Burke at full pelt is quick. So I agree with you, Craig.
Just pace is a partnership, don't they? Pace and power. Stansfield and a lot what I was seeing with them, but definitely with Bakuna and Miyoshi behind them as well. That gave us
and he got man of the match. I know we talked about Laird and everything else, but actually Burke was the one that took away the champagne from the game.
Oh, right.
So it's good to see, and again, that's also confidence. What we need going into an extremely tough game at the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. What competitions we got today, Paul? Anything?
I think we have. Yeah, I think we've got a few a bit later on. We got have we, Craig? Actually,
We've got squad number game, and as per the past weeks, I'll be doing the top goal scorers, stroke goals scored from that season as well. And just to please everyone, I'm not going to do higher, lower, or the same. I'm just going to be going higher or lower.
Yeah.
Actually, we're talking about the positives, but fantastic from the club at the weekend for the remembrance side of things. I think the silence was impeccably, held by everyone. But Also, the big flag going around Tilton into the Kop was a nice touch, along with what was on the pitch. And as always, the round of applause that the old guy got as he walks through the middle of the stand, and I'm not on about Chris at this point. But yeah, the applause that he got was just superb from everyone, and it was great to see and actually be part of.
You probably all know that.
Was superb.
I heard a rumour that the Pucker Pies are back in the box as well.
They're in a box.
They're in a box.
What?
They are
In
indeed.
a box, and the band's playing Keep Right On. I mean, we had a lovely day. It was great.
Yeah, and also good to see the B in the seats as well in the lower Kop.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Before we move on, I'll just go back to the. There's a few comments on YouTube, but I don't want to miss because I will do. Bad ref calls have made the game great for years. 66, but just too many cameras and scrutiny now, says Mr. Ford. Well done, Blues, for getting behind the team, and Rooney sadly top class. We will get there. Did we all get behind Rooney? Did everybody get behind Rooney?
He's always going to get behind any manager that we've got, but I think he's got to stop singling people out when he comes out after the game.
He throws them under the bus, doesn't he?
He didn't say names. He didn't name and shame, but I just think he needs to stop sort of criticising individuals, shall I say? Just leave that kind of thing for the dressing room. I would, if it was me.
That's man management, though, Paul, isn't it? And if he needs some help in man management, I'm sure that's out there. I'm sure it's there. So, and also dealing with the press must be a very, very difficult thing. If I was to ask you a really awkward question and put you on the spot, yeah, your reaction would probably be slightly different unless, if we were just talking about the game in general.
But his interviews seem to be like he's still a player, like the way players share things.
Does he keep touching his face still?
He doesn't. He basically just tells you as it is, and doesn't really protect anybody in what he's saying. But I think that's something that he's still unexperienced with. But hopefully, I'm with Paul. I think you just got to be really careful, especially when you're trying to, back the team.
Yeah.
I mean, we had an absolute rock at St Andrews. He was superb. Chris, you're going to have to help me with his name. He went off to work in the England setup.
Lee Carsley?
No, media-wise.
Noel Blake?
Oh, no, media.
Andy
Walker.
Yeah.
I tell you what, his skills were off the scale. Off the scale. He knew exactly what to say, when to say, and how to say it. No wonder he got picked up and went into the England setup. But it was like any kind of question that you asked him, he got a perfectly logical answer for it. And if he couldn't I can't answer that at this junction.
I do get it to a degree. Sorry, Nick. I do get it to a degree with Rooney, though, because it's just frustration as well, because he's trying to obviously coach players to do what he could do when he played, and some of them just simply aren't good enough to do it, are they? And it can be frustrating.
Sorry, Paul, but this is a Zola situation, then, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
I certainly hope not. 1 point in 12, when you look at it that way, it suggests though. But I think there is, if we carry on playing like we did in that first half on Saturday, then I'm more positive about that. But let's just wait and see. Only time's going to tell.
I just think the club's in a better situation all around than when Zola was there. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is that when we had Zola, we had the problems with the Chinese owners and everything else, and it was all doom and gloom. But I think that having the backing of what we've got just helps that a little bit. And I actually do see, and again, same as I said last week, I'm still not 100% convinced that Rooney's the right man. He's going to prove us right or wrong as it goes on. But I actually do have a better feeling this time about a lot of things, and I think that's down to the stability now of the club more than what it was all over here.
I think, to be honest, Mike, I think for the first time in 4 games, you could sort of see it's like the haze had been lifted. You think, that's right, that's what he's trying to do. You can actually see it.
Because he's had a week.
He's had a solid week.
Sorry, Claire, what are you saying?
So the other games were like 3 games within a week. He's had a whole week.
He's had a whole week.
That's what, I'm not jumping on anything, and it's one game at a time, like it always is. But there was improvements You know, I even said I'd give that about a 6 or 7 out of 10. Obviously, if we weren't, brilliant. And that would, I think, really kick-started it. But I generally think, you know, am I singing his name at the moment? No, because he needs to prove more to me. But I'm not going to have a go at anybody else if they are. That's their decision. So I still think there's a divide, and I'm just hoping, you know, on Saturday, hopefully people will come together a little bit more, but we'll see.
No, Claire, I mean, look, the impending window that is coming up, yes, of course, look, Rooney is going to attract more players to St Andrews than the last guy. My memory is
Eustace.
John Eustace.
It just goes blank. It's happened to me all my life, don't worry. But he's obviously got the potential to pull in better names. And I'm saying names, and I told you last week, names don't make games and names don't win games, right? But he's got the pull-in power to bring in more than what we got at the minute.
Yeah.
I'd just like to tell you that I mean, on good authority, that John Eustace had very little input on who we signed.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
Very little.
That's the same with a lot of clubs.
In fact, somebody told me a story who knows, he's a friend of his, who said when they signed Miyoshi, they asked him about what he thought, and he said, well, he's a bit frail for this division. And they said, well, we signed him anyway. So, you know, that's... Yes.
Right, okay. Watch out. You're the chairman of the board. Who do you think's making those decisions?
Who? Craig Gardner and his...
Don't incriminate yourself, whatever you do.
Who's made what? No, the decisions on who was bought was made by the scouting team and Craig Gardner.
Yeah.
Now he's pulled off some. You can't say he's signed many poor players. We all got excited about who we signed at the start of the season under the umbrella of the new management, and it was all done through Craig, and we all said, "Oh, great job." Now, is Wayne Rooney going to take over that function and sign his players? Or is Craig going to carry on and say, Wayne, do you fancy this bloke? And he says no. He said, oh, well, signed him. So you'll have to.
If somebody did that to me, Alan, at work, I think I'd pick myself up, sort my desk out and just walk out.
I think now, with Rooney being the manager now and not the coach, I think that was addressed to us at the start, was that Wayne Rooney would have a lot more influence in a lot of the off-the-field things. So, Craig Gardner's done a great job, and we've all agreed to that. But I think Rooney will come in, and I think a lot of the signings will be done through Rooney's networking more now. And so it'll be a choice of that. But we're still under, different embargoes. So we've still got to remember that we haven't got millions and millions of pounds to spend. So we're not going to go out there and get people that everyone's, they're calling all these names out, but we're still only going to get the average player that is leaving a club or going on sale for a cheap price, because that's all we can afford.
Yeah.
So it's how we recruit and who we recruit, because, we could say Rooney's going to go out and get this. They talked about this guy from Miami, it's Martinez, and again, I've watched him a couple of times play at Miami, and I've never seen him being such a strong player. Honestly, it wouldn't be one that I would say, we definitely got to go and sign. But the realistic of it is he's a free transfer. He's an extra body. He's a striker. That's all we can do right now as a club.
Okay, Mark, just a quick question, buddy. Do you think that the authorities that run football should take a different sense of this? I mean, what was Liverpool spend last year was 1.8 billion.
But they make that money back.
We don't. We don't make it back.
Literally the tour. So I took my little brother on the tour around Liverpool and Anfield. It was non-stop. Like and each person's probably 2 people probably spent 50 quid. And the amount of money that they make, I mean, their shop is probably the size of like the Tilton.
Yeah.
And it's 2 tiers, and you can get Liverpool anything. So that's why they can make the money. That's why we're like trying to sell a lot of things, because we get more money for them.
Okay, right. Okay, so then we've got a club shop. Yeah, we used to have one in town. That's no longer there. We've got a club shop, but then why did we start selling? Am I right? Put me down if you think I'm wrong here, please.
We will.
Seems to be such a lot of plastic tack in there.
Not anymore.
Or what?
No, it's different now.
I think
Bear in mind, I haven't been in the club shop since last season.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What you've got to understand as well, though, Nick, is that Birmingham City stuff is going to be nowhere near the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools, and things like that. We're not a worldwide brand, so we're selling to the fans that go to the stadium and buy stuff. Liverpool City, all those are selling on the internet.
Okay, right, I get that, Mark. Nice. Yeah, look, I don't mind being wrong ever, right? And not ever, right? Apart from when Shannon's here. But no, that's a great sum up. I love it. Nice one, thank you. Yeah.
But that's what they're trying to do, though. They're trying to make us a global brand, so people do buy our merchandise far and wide all over the world. And a name like Wayne Rooney will help with that, won't it?
Yeah. And they know how to do it as well.
It's all about getting the results on the field, though, isn't it? And
that's where it starts.
Yeah. But off the field, I think the club's in a really good place now compared to what, obviously, we go back to the Zola thing. It's like Mark said, it's in a completely different place now to what it was back then. And
I still think there's more to come as well. I think it's been, dare I say, it's actually been quite quiet on the backroom side of things and further money coming into the club. So I think there will be announcements, but perhaps timed in line with the window, because what we bring in is ultimately what we can then look to spend. But we've also got to realise we are, we're always about 6 months behind. So all these figures that people see and hear about are always in the past. So we're fighting still against what happened last season. So if we can go out and, like Mark said, if we can shop in a window, get a couple of freebies who are willing to take they've ultimately probably got to take a cut in salary, but they might get a decent signing on fee, or there might be some bonuses behind, the performances and stuff like that. There's always ways that the club can do things. But the one thing I will say is they will not risk FFP in any way, shape or form. No. So going into January, if I'm completely honest, I'd be really, really pleased if we saw more than one face. I honestly think we might have seen one. And that's because we can play with the low market.
Sorry, Craig, we're basically still suffering from the Redknapp era, aren't we?
It's the whole.
Not just Red.
We've gone 2 years now with 2 years now with half a stadium.
Yeah.
So even your match day money is probably halved.
Mark, I'll have to stop you there, mate. We can't even fill it half full.
Oh, but Nick, the place the weekend, right? It wasn't far off what you could class as capacity. And the thing that I'm seeing is that we are going into games now where we are seeing less and less empty seats because people are interested in coming back. I was really surprised, in all honesty, at the weekend at the attendance, because off the back of such a bad run, I expected it to be a lot lower than what it was.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Craig, do you know? Sorry, Craig. Do we know if the whole lower Tilton was available for tickets to be purchased? Because it wasn't.
They came out late, didn't they?
They came very late.
There was a block and a half, I believe.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty good. It was pretty good, I thought.
Up until when it aired corner, so the corner ones were still not available.
Right.
And half of that block next to it. But I think that those seats in that bottom tier, there was obviously the season tickets have gone out to people. And I tell you what, great touch from the club. The German flag season ticket, brilliant.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, explain. What was that?
Mark Adams, are you back in your seat now, behind the goal?
No, Paul, we're still in the Gil Merrick. To be honest, sorry?
Are you going?
No. That's the thing. We're 50-50 because I personally I wouldn't mind going back, but people I go with, friends and that, they want to stay put. So it's like
my mate loved it. My mate normally sits right near the top with us, and her and her boyfriend moved, and she said honestly it was a game changer. She said she loved it. The atmosphere was great, especially when we scored the 2 goals. So she would recommend it.
It's made a massive difference as well.
Right, Claire, sorry, explain where those people were sitting, because I missed that little bit.
So they normally sit, I think it's 2 blocks away from us, Craig, at the top.
Yeah.
In the Tilton.
They moved to block 6, and they said that it was brilliant.
In the safe standing area.
Yeah. Said it was really good. Like, she was worried that she wouldn't be able to see, and she saw it all, and they said like the atmosphere was good down there as well. So definitely recommend it.
Sorry to put in, Claire. One of the questions that have come up from people I sit by, my friend Jane brings her 8-year-old nephew Jack, and the one thing about going back is that they're worried that the little ones won't be able to see.
Try and get as near to the front as possible, but if you look at how they are, so even like Cardiff done it perfectly. What happens is you've got it's different to a normal seat, so you've got a little step up as well. But a lot of the kids, they always go to the front of it. Yeah. So if you get a ticket, try and go as far close as you can to the front. And worst case scenario is they could stand on the seat.
Okay. Me and Chris Browne and Watto can remember sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
Can do,
Were you subs? Were you all subs?
I've had this seat in the main stand for 7 or 8 years now, and Saturday was the first time I had anybody sitting next to me. It was full. It was full. It was full. Normally, I've got the choice of 3 or 4 seats either side of me, and certainly the one seat which I've tried to buy from other people, they say, no, that's owned by somebody, and they've not sat there for 8 years.
Maybe you change your office game. Did you change your cologne? Your office game.
Maybe they just didn't want to sit by you all.
The quality of the seats in the lower cop, though, I must say, is top drawer, isn't it? When you look at the seats in the lower cop, they're mint, aren't they?
Yeah, when I was down there yesterday, I went down and actually had a proper look, and I tell you, you can tell that the club haven't scrimped and saved in terms of the spending getting this done, because it really looks the bees and E's. You know, it's not even, sounds really daft, but they've even got little patterns in the seat when they fold down and everything else. So it just looks expensive.
Quick question, Craig, because I don't understand. Does the spend influence or impact upon the transfers?
No, because it's expenditure on the running of the club.
Yeah. Right, cool, thank you.
So, I mean, the other thing for me is I cannot wait until the Leicester game, because that place is not only going to be packed, and I have seen a comment, and I've got to agree, it's not necessarily going to be packed from the football in front, but the WAG war that will go on the day.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
It's going to be tasty, that
is on. And I've watched the whole series. You've got to watch it on Disney.
We've seriously got to come up with some songs for that one.
It's great.
It's going to come. You're going to have the Blues fans singing about Rooney, and you're going to have them talking about their side as well. And it's going to be, I think, firstly, I want it rammed. I want it packed. I think it will be. And I tell you what, the noise in that place, it'll be the first time for many, many, many years that we can honestly say that it's going to be loud, and it's going to be a hostile environment that particular night. But let's not just keep it to one gap. If we do get to that point that it's open and it's full, then we want to see that every single time, because Mark mentioned it. You know, the revenue that comes in helps us then with our spend. But also, don't forget any money that's put into merchandise, any money that goes into food, drinks, and everything else, all goes into the club. And there was a big change again at the weekend in terms of service at the counters. For the first time, I don't know how many years, I actually heard the tannoy clear. And
it was crisp.
the tone and hear it clear was just, that was great.
But I'm begging for that for donkeys, mate, I promise you.
there's been a couple of comments as well, and I've got to say, I think Claire mentioned it with a band, right? It was a brass band.
Well, I think we should have it more often. Southampton have it every single week, and I thought, Mr. Blue Sky and keep right on.
Yeah.
We should do roll out.
Was this a brass band on the pitch?
Yeah.
Rob, do you have the drums?
We had the drummer in the background.
Now, hang on, too many people talking, sorry.
I was disappointed they didn't do roll out the barrel.
That would have been fun.
That would have been tough.
I reckon you guys could set up your own little band at the back of the Tilton.
Yeah.
We're Birmingham City, we don't need a drum.
Yeah.
I've got to say,
those are words I will treasure for the rest of my life.
We sing it at away games, because obviously be next to a
I
drum.
absolutely hate them.
Oh, Norwich had one, and it was like, and Middlesbrough, they're all getting a drum at the moment.
Huddersfield's another one.
I'm not going to tell you that there was the drum at the ladies yesterday then, so I'll keep
I know, I've already heard about that, and I know who brought it, so I've already told them. They can keep it for the ladies' game.
How is it? Right, you know, I can't take an air horn in. Now, I was famous my air horn in the 80s and the 90s, yeah? And yet you can take a big bass drum with sticks, which you could poke people's eyes out with. Huh?
Oh, no. This is right. The drum was there, but they couldn't have drumsticks.
Hanging his head
Well,
off.
shall we talk about the ladies' game anyway?
Go for it, Claire.
I wasn't there. Craig was.
I watched it on YouTube.
I've got to say, you know, 3 games now on the bounce at home, 9 points, and a team that are the polar opposite to what we're seeing at the start of the season. They're full of confidence. They're scoring goals for fun. And yesterday, you know, it was 2 teams very close to each other in the league. I mean, to start the day, we was only separated by a couple of points. But 25 minutes in, and we finally broke them down. And firstly, a superb goal from Charlie Devlin, the first one. You know, it's made on the right-hand side, and then she just cut back in and curled an absolute beaut into the bottom corner with her left foot. And then a few minutes later, opposite side of the goal, straight again from a right-hand side corner, and polished off after a very poor clearance from the goalkeeper. And yes, in the second half, you know, Reading came at us. I would say deserved the goal that they scored. Again, very well set up. But then after that, we looked comfortable. The ladies have come together as a group, and it's really, really beginning to show. They're climbing the league. You know, people are not really noticing them going too far up because there was a bit of a gap to start off with, but they can soon close that. And again, not by much, but the attendance was up. Huge credit and thank you to all of the people that were down there yesterday. It was not only the game, but the Diwali celebration and the work that was put in for Blues for All and Punjabi Blues was phenomenal.
What was the food like? What was the food like, Craig? Come on.
Oh, absolutely amazing. You know, to part of the celebration, the group had arranged food for everyone that was in attendance outside the ground. So there was samosas, there was chickpea curry, and both were stunning. Good. You know,
how much did it cost, Craig?
It was free.
Free.
No.
Yeah. It was free. And, you know, the one thing that I can say is the club are trying their absolute utmost. And I know I've said it week in, week out now about more people going and supporting the ladies. We were just shy of 900 yesterday.
It's gone up a bit, yeah.
It's gone up a bit.
Yeah.
It can go up more. You know, we've got, I keep saying it, we've got 10,000 plus season ticket holders. And every single one of those people, whilst I know you can't get there all the time, but it's a free ticket. It can be. You can take the ticket, give it to friends, family, get other people down there. I can say that for the next game and onwards, we're at Tilton Talk now have some tickets to give away for each game. So we want to encourage people down, and that's not just individuals, families, footballing teams, those people to get down there. The kids are really beginning to enjoy it. Yes, there was a drum there yesterday. Dare I say, it didn't take off, but it probably could do because the kids loved it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's about that whole day and that whole experience, and there's also a huge difference after, because once the game's finished, it's not a case of like we see where the men walk around the pitch, applaud the fans, and walk off, and then you have to go and wait outside for 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah. No, an hour and a half sometimes.
This is they have the warm down on the pitch, and then the ladies come up into the stands. You know, they come and meet the fans. They're there for photographs. There's posters given out at every game, little flags, so the kids can go and get those signed. And it just makes the big whole, family sort of atmosphere come together even more. So we want to help support that even more. So like I say, we have tickets available. The lads and ladies at the Birmingham City Ladies group as well, and supporters group have been phenomenal. Redditch supporters group do a hell of a lot as well. So try and get behind it as much as we possibly can. And 2 weeks' time, I'd love to say that we could get above 900. We challenge 1,000. But we could do it. And I know from the comments of the players how much the fans mean to them. And that's the key. We can help this team climb even further up the league and go for that promotion. It's going to be tough, very, very tough, but we can do this. And
but a few years ago, Craig, we were looking at our ladies. A couple of years ago, we were looking at our ladies team literally gone out of business.
Yeah, but the one thing we've got now is we've got a group of owners, one of which is massively into ladies football in the States. In fact, I think one of the directors actually owns a team out in the States. So they're seeing, people going there all the time. They're looking at the Women's Super League and seeing thousands of people attending games. Arsenal, Chelsea, they're getting, 10,000 plus going to a game. And there is absolutely no reason why we couldn't do the same. A few years ago, Birmingham were in the FA Cup final and took 30,000 to Wembley. Now, I know that's a one-off special occasion, but why can't we get more people down?
I've got to say, though, could I just say that when you're walking down that car park now with the Blues badge on the outside, and I know this is something probably minor and I'm probably being a bit dramatic, but the two screens and the badge in the middle of the stand on the outside is just wonderful, isn't it?
Something, Paul? I'm gonna disagree with you, right?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure.
I think he looks
Don't you like it there?
Amazing. It is brilliant.
Absolutely. So you're agreeing with me then?
Yeah, of course I am, mate. And you've
Paul,
got
would
more
you
hair
rather
on
it
your
go
chin than you have
round?
your head skin.
I would like to see it in the other side, though, on the railway.
Yeah, I would too, all the way around.
Yeah.
They've only been here 4 months.
No, I'm just saying, like the back of the Gilmerick, and because obviously it stops off at the Tilton and stops off at Gilmerick, and then you can just see how old it is. I think if they managed to do like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That will be like.
From my understanding, sorry, Mark. Go on.
If you take the train from New Street, obviously you can see the Gilmerick. That's where you see. So if you had that lit up, then even from like the city centre, you can see.
From
town. Yeah, from town.
You can see it there, can't you?
Yeah, my understanding on that is that there could be an issue with it being above a rail track, possibly. Yeah. That's the conversation I had about it.
Are we saying then that we've got a football stadium next to a railway track, which we can't have a sign at the back, and yet that train will travel through, I don't know, cities and this, that and the other, and you can see shops and everybody will have their signs up and lit up and da-da-da-da-da-da.
If we can't have it on the stand, then just do it like Batman, and so the badge is in the sky.
Yeah.
If we can't have it on the stand,
every home game.
Yeah.
Every home game, summon the fans.
You could just have Rogue stand there with a badge.
Yeah.
No, don't send people away, not attract them.
Yeah.
Mark, are you leaving the NHS any time shortly? Because we've got a job for you.
Just give me a different feel.
That's my night job.
Walking into that car park on Saturday, it just gives you a different feel completely about going down and looking at that outside when you great feeling when you see it and you're like, wow.
Is it the street food, Paul? Is it the street food that you like?
No.
I've still never tried it, you know. I've never tried any
Oh,
of that.
it's brilliant. The burger
like-
is like exceptional. Oh,
It looks amazing. That Rab's curry looks amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
my mouth's sweating now.
I was chatting to Davo once outside.
That's something else,
he was eating one when I was chatting to him. It looked amazing. It really did.
It does, yeah.
I just want a double cheeseburger with onions and tomato sauce. I don't want it all down my shirt.
You can still get one.
Yeah, you can.
McDonald's down the road.
McDonald's, yeah.
No, that's not. Oh, come on.
You know,
You know
that-
what?
That's not a burger.
I actually
That's a
agree with
wafer.
Nick. I actually agree with Nick on this one. The old-fashioned burger stand was the best.
And it
They were
wasn't
nice,
just that, Mark. It was a smell.
Yeah.
When you were
Traditional-
walking towards the ground,
Yeah.
once you get that burger and onion smell, you know you're there. You're there,
Yeah.
mate. You're there.
Here's one
Yeah.
thing for you then. The street food, right?
Mm.
Would you get rid of street food and put the food back outside, knowing the fact that all of those street food vendors pay a premium to sell inside the stadium, and all of
No,
that
I just have
money
a
they
choice.
take-
Craig, I just have the choice.
But what they take inside the stadium,
Yeah, but I'd
a
still.
percentage of that goes back to the club.
What about personal choice? We're all allowed personal choice. Yeah. I personally don't want to walk down to McDonald's and get a thin burger, a see-through burger, which does
Well,
not
burgers
look
inside the
and
stadium.
represent anything like the adverts.
Yeah, they sell them in the
Never
stadium,
walked-
burgers.
Yeah, and
Just
yeah,
get one from the stadium.
yes.
Who mentioned
the Tilton,
food?
back of the Tilton.
Yeah, I mean, so the way that I see it is,
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry,
it's
man.
of course, problem. But in all
Can we
seriousness,
describe it in
you get
detail?
that.
Right, Craig, go on.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Right, it used to be wicked going up the main street, and yeah, you would get that smell of burgers and the onions, and it would make you feel as though you're in
Hey,
a.
it's wrong.
But you can get that inside the ground, not just get it inside the ground. You can be putting
Nah,
that
not
into the
like
pub.
they were outside. They're not the same, mate. Honestly.
They're the
they're
same
not-
people. They're the same
Same
people.
people, yeah.
If you miss the smell, Nick, you can smell my socks.
Smell what?
I feel
Smell what,
sick.
Mark?
I feel sick.
If you miss the smell, if you miss the smell of onions, just smell my socks. I'll send you some.
Onions and mature cheddar.
You're just completely and utterly dirty.
I need some more.
Ugh.
I need some
I'm
more.
only joking.
Anyway.
Hey,
come on to
people
our-
buy them for a premium fee.
Yeah,
Well, it's money. It's money for the club.
Moving
Oh.
on.
Mark, put your business head back on and rethink.
Go on, Paul.
Go on, Paul.
Go on, Paul.
Moving on to our
Right, come on, guys. It's 7:25. Competition time. First competition, gentlemen.
Go on, Paul.
Yeah, so I'm going to come on to our top 5 managers first. So obviously we had Terry Cooper in 5th, we had Barry Fry in 4th, and Jim Smith in 3rd last week. So I know one. This is going to be interesting because my personal top 3 obviously can't be that now because obviously I didn't see Jim Smith. But I'd like our viewers to pick 2nd place now, please, for our best ever manager. So who's in 2nd place? So we've
Are
not
you
had-
eliminating the previous 3 then? Are they out
Yeah.
of this stage?
Yeah, they're in 3rd,
Yeah, okay.
4th. Yeah.
Steve Bruce. I'm going to go Steve Bruce for mine.
Bruce or Francis?
Oh, it's
They're
so
in my
tough, isn't it?
lifetime.
I think Bruce, because he delivered the Premier League, but it's
Yeah.
a tough one.
Oh, but he delivered
Just
it with
about
Francis'
Bruce, I think.
team.
I would, without a doubt, wait until next week till number 1 come out. I've gone for, of course, McLeish, for winning the Carling Cup final, which was one of the finest days of my life. Standing there watching that, crying my eyes out with my boys. Absolutely beautiful day. But then he destroyed me.
It doesn't matter. He still won it.
Yeah,
I've got the
still
shirt on
won it.
tonight as well, by the way.
No,
Hey.
one for me.
And
Yeah.
just so the message board's lit up since you announced it,
Yeah.
Paul, and
Brucey.
so we've got Brucey
Oh, it's
from
tight.
Nigel Mann, Freddie
Tight.
Goodwin for me and Clayton, Lilypad went for McLeish, Benji Smith, Don Kavanagh, Warren Starling, Paul McCarthy, Dave Twine have all said Brucey, Roy Haywood with Trevor Francis, Portrait with McLeish. Evening to our actor friend Richard Haler.
Hello, actor. Hello, Richard. How really nice.
And Carol Sunderland has also said Stevie Bruce.
Yeah.
So Michael Woods, Steve Bruce, for the Premier League, but Trevor Francis for the League Cup that we should have won. And I'm completely on the fence between them two because actually,
I know it's hard.
Steve Bruce took up Trevor Francis's team.
He did, yeah. Paul. Savant Paul, of course. Who was the manager when we had Enkelman Day?
Bruce.
That's it then. I'm in for him. I'll have him.
first season in the Prem that was, yeah.
To be fair, Steve Bruce got us promoted twice.
Yeah, he did.
He did, yes.
The second time was his own team, everything was his. I take the point about. I don't think we'd have ever got promoted if Trevor had stayed, to be honest.
Sorry, Claire, stop. Right, it's just flashed up on my screen that you sneezed twice.
Yeah.
How the hell did your eyes not just pop out of your head? When you sneeze, it's got a prop.
Because I'm a woman and we sneeze in a gentle way.
Nick, it's just like ladies when they fluff, they just keep it very, very quiet.
Right, watch, I'm really sorry. Just something funny.
Anyway, Steve Bruce is the winner then, yeah?
Trevor was so unlucky not to get us promoted, though, wasn't he, Al, really, when you
Oh,
look
yeah.
back.
Yes.
Do you know what I admire Trevor Francis for? He wanted to take the players on that
Preston.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
He wanted to take the players up on that playoff final. And I will always admire. God bless you. Rest in peace, my dear friend. But that when he was going like that, right? Come on, no, we ain't having this. What stopped him? Who stopped him? I don't know.
From my point of view, McLeish would be my number 2.
Would it?
Yeah, because whilst he brought the cup, and yes, he got us promoted, he wasn't there for that period of time, and he could have stayed.
Hang on, you're missing something else, Craig.
I think you should change. You should change that word "could."
Highest Premier League finish and the Carling.
Change the word "could" to "should."
He should have stayed. I think he did let himself down. And when I'm looking at also the votes that are now coming through, a lot of people are saying actually Brucey is number 1 for them. So this is really interesting now. It's becoming a bit of a split as we go through.
Who's going to be left out is going to be the question.
Yeah,
I've got to say,
don't forget Lee Watton and Chris. Remember Al Ramsey.
I've got to say, if I could go back and relive one day, it would be Darren Carter's penalty in Cardiff. That for me was my favourite ever moment as a Blues fan.
Yeah. One of my favourite moments on the Tilton Talk Show was actually touching that foot that put the ball in the net. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So, as Mr. King says, it won't work now. You've got to have Trevor and McLeish and Bruce in the top 5.
Well, this is my top 3. That's my top 3 in whatever order. But
that would have been.
Yeah, that's my top 3.
And of course, it is down to the people.
And as Jason says, you've got 2 spaces left and 4 managers better than those in 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah,
it's very true.
It's all about
But it's individual. It's an individual vote.
That's it. It's not our choice, is it? It's the wider audience.
It's different on age, and it's different on what you're looking at, right? Isn't it? So
most definitely.
It's a tough one. There's more than 5 really, really good managers we could choose from, but I didn't ever seen Jim Smith. I'm not at that age, so Jim Smith wouldn't be in my 5. But for the majority of people, he was, and then that's what threw the first and second around. But I think I still think Bruce for second because I'm going to go McLeish first next week.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Mark.
I'm the same. Yeah.
For anyone who thinks this is all over next week, then think again because I've got something else up my sleeve for the following week and the following 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I will say, just on the front of, we're talking about opinions and people's votes, but thank you to everybody that voted as well around the question I asked last week, which players did you love the most that you thought loved the club? And heads and tails, as for a winner, was Stan Lazaridis. He was miles ahead of everybody from a voting perspective. But it also made interesting reading against the other players that were in there. And I'll publish the results so that people can see it. But there were some names in the bottom half that I expected to be in the top half. So people like Kevin Francis, Ricky Otto, they actually came quite down in the list in comparison to those that were at the top. And other people that didn't get a mention at all.
I think like Mark. Yeah, I think like Mark said though, Craig, it's a generation thing again.
It's a generational thing, definitely.
But another thing I'm going to throw out to our viewers as well. Now, you might have noticed Marcelo at our Take a Seat event with EA Promotions Friday before last did 27 kick-ups. Yeah, so Danny Sonner did 15, Darren Purse did 11, Danny Sonner did 15, and Marcelo did 27. Do any of our viewers out there think that they can beat 27 kick-ups? And if you can, send us your videos into our Tilton Talk Show page showing you're beating 27 kick-ups. And make it the
no photoshopping, no,
Can I do it live on the show?
Oh, go on.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, go on, do it, Mark.
I don't have a ball right now.
Yeah, well, so we could get them in. Chris, could we get them in to do it, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a ball here.
Well, it's too far for me. I have to do it here. I can't fly there to do kick-ups.
Hello.
Go on, Nick.
Hello. I could do one.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. If anyone thinks they can beat 27, then actually that's better, isn't it? Come and join us on the show. We could do it on Zoom. We can dial you in and do it on live.
Zoom, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
We could do higher, lower, and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, Paul, is stuff that I've just never been able to do. Not ever. I've got no coordination.
Nigel Mann, it's strictly not able to use.
Oh, that was one.
Yes, Nigel Mann wants to know if you can use long elastic. I'm sorry, no, you can't.
No.
Go on then, Craig. Hit us with the game this week.
Right, so we're going to do, as we have done for the past couple of weeks, squad number game. But I'm also going to include with this the goal scorer. But I'm not going to do higher, lower, or the same. We are just going to go higher or lower when it comes to the goal scoring. So the squad is 2004 to 2005.
Lower.
And I'm looking for squad number 7.
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
Yeah, I know.
7, okay.
Oh,
I got it.
God's sake.
Last
7, it.
Well, I haven't finished yet. You've started. You can't have this.
Mark,
Squad number 7.
Let the viewers have a go, because I know as well.
And squad number 14. So squad number 7 and squad number 14
Oh, they're coming in.
for that
Oh, 2 of
season.
them?
Steve Jobs got one straight away. It's Robbie Blake.
Robbie Blake, 7, yeah.
Definitely
Blake.
Larson,
Start of the
Pennant.
season, though. At the start
You
of the
know
season-
what? Jasper Gronkiar wore 7 as well in the same season.
Yeah. I was about to say that.
Mark Meredith, you bard. Mute him, Chris. He's not allowed to say anything else.
Paul's texting me.
He used to iron the shirts.
Yeah.
So number 7, I can tell you has been answered. That was Robbie Blake.
Oh,
Jasper Gronkiar.
Oh, I'm quiet.
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
What about, was it Stern John? 14.
Yes, it was Rope. Yes, it was Rope.
Not that.
So John was one of the 14s. Who was the second?
Ian Clayton saying Nafty.
Not Nafty, no.
Yeah, it's before Nafty, wasn't it?
Wasn't one of the loans from Liverpool? Was it Salif Diao or someone like that?
Nope.
It
It
wasn't
weren't Darren Anderson, was it?
Wasn't Darren Anderson, no.
You haven't.
Ooh, it's 14.
Roger Hind.
Roger Hind.
They played up front with Gil Merrick, didn't they?
Yeah, because that was the season Stern John went, wasn't it? We only had him at the start of that season, and we signed somebody else, didn't we?
We did indeed.
Am I allowed to answer or not?
No.
Went to Derby.
Mr.
We
Meredith,
also like
you can WhatsApp me or text me who you think it is, and then if nobody gets it, I'll let you say it.
Okay, I'm doing it now. I'm messaging you on Facebook.
Surely Stern
hang
John
on.
was bought in the January transfer window.
No, he'd been there a few years at that point, Al. But he signed in 02, didn't he, under Bruce?
Yeah. And then he went to Derby, didn't he?
And then he went, Derby or Coventry won it from us.
He went Derby, then Cov, yeah.
He played against on New Year's Day, and then we signed him.
Really?
Yeah, he scored. Yeah, he scored against
It was,
Derby.
it was earlier than 2004, was it?
Massive down of that,
of course
isn't
it was,
it?
'cause
Go
he played-
from Birmingham Going from Birmingham to Derby, then to Coventry.
Yeah.
Sounds like trouble.
Nobody goes to Coventry.
There's a few names you mentioned as well.
I've ended up here.
Exactly.
Well, we got rid of you today. So Medinafti, who has been mentioned, was squad number 36.
Okay.
Darren Anderton was 32. So just
Was
the
it-
guys they were there.
Was it
And Salif Diao was 20.
Okay.
Right.
Claire, can I ask you a question, Mab?
Were Nicky Butt, was it?
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Claire.
But no,
Go on, Bab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Do you struggle with your memory like I do?
Pardon? Who are you?
Well,
Who said that?
like, you see, I can't. There's no with me trying to even contribute towards this because I ain't got a clue. No? I'm just wondering if there's anybody else out there.
Twice, so I might forget a little bit, but
Yeah.
This one. Was it another loan?
he was a midfielder, wasn't it?
in terms of it, no, it wasn't a midfielder.
Why are we waiting?
Oh, come on,
Mark.
let him.
Go
Go
on,
on,
tell him.
put him out of his misery. Come on.
Nobody knows.
Go on, Mark.
Go on,
Put him out of
Mark.
misery.
Come on, then.
Kooky? Or
It
Kook?
was Kooky. Kooky.
Who cares?
Ah, definitely.
Ooh, crikey, I remember, ladies and gentlemen, when I used to be able to move without blooming sound effects.
I wouldn't have got that, Mark. I wouldn't have got that one.
Nah, no, mate.
So,
Still don't know
I'm
who it
still
is.
at a loss here. Who was it? Kooky?
Kooky, yeah.
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 Cookie's brother. His brother played for Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah.
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 He was finished. Did you just say he was finished, Al, or finished?
Both.
Well, I've done
Come to Blues and he was finished.
He has to say he played for Blues. He must have been finished.
7 minutes away from the last 15, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an absolute cracker for you tonight.
Have we?
Hopefully, you'll not let us down as always. But we know you won't. We know you won't.
Yeah.
Right. Sunderland score predictions, please.
Okay, that's going to be a game, isn't it?
Who's going first? Claire, you go first. You're going, it, yeah?
Yeah, I am. I would take a draw. I'll take 1-1 now.
Is that what you think it'll be, though?
Well, their two centre backs are out, aren't they? So
But then we've
I
got
mean,
6
if
players
we
out, Claire.
win, it will make everything better because I'm going up on the Friday night. But I'll take a draw right now. I think
We've got 6 players out though, including Bielik and Giblin.
Yeah, but James was better than Bielik.
Okay, all right, that's a great,
We've
great
had
shout.
five
Thomas,
of
your
those players
opinion.
8 weeks.
Who?
So I'm going to go
We've had
1.
5 of those players out for 8 weeks, haven't we? It's only Bielik that's been added to it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else has been out so long. It's only Bielik that's been added this week to the miss.
Yeah, Bielik's the only addition.
Yeah.
I think the longer that they spend with the coaching staff and Wayne Rooney on the training ground, the better we're going to become. So I'm going to be positive and say 1-0 to us.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Blues. I think we're going to get a win up there. Yeah.
It is going to be hard, though, to keep a clean sheet the way we play, isn't it?
I think we'll concede.
Yeah.
I think we'll concede.
But
But,
if we keep lead fit, we'll keep a clean sheet.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Al?
I'll go to the 1-0, yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0 to the Blues, to be honest with you. I think we deserve a win now. Come on.
Probably deserve
Yeah.
one, yeah. I think we'll get
Craig?
I think I'm on it, edging on the 1-0 as well.
Okay. Chris?
it. What, 1-0 to Blues, Craig?
Yeah, 1-0 to Blues.
Really? Oh, okay.
Chris?
I'll be happy with that, but I'm going to... I'm going to go for a slender 1-0 loss.
Okay. Yeah. Have we got higher or lower as well, Craig?
We have indeed. So,
Mark,
Well, we've
what
got 4
do you reckon?
minutes.
yeah, Mark, what's yours?
yeah, Mark.
Have I forgot you, Mark?
I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland. So it's not very nice news this side.
We
Oh, dude,
can
that's-
bleep that out.
Yeah.
I have got a beep somewhere. Hang on.
Go on then, Craig.
Bellingham to score 2.
No, no.
No, now I know you're taking the mick. Right, so on to higher or lower. And I'm going to start off with number 9 on that season, played 13 games, Walter Pandiani. So he scored 4 goals.
Is that all?
That's all he
Yeah.
scored in that league that season.
Southampton, Liverpool, Chelsea. Sorry.
You
Karen,
remember
Man
the
United.
third?
And you know,
I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Arsenal. Did he score against Arsenal as well?
Thought he did last game of the season, didn't
Yeah, we beat them
Yeah.
2-1.
Yes.
Southampton.
My question
Sorry,
is,
ignore me.
we are, don't worry. So, in that season, Darren Carter, higher or lower than 4 goals?
Just in the league.
Just in the league.
Lower.
Lower.
Lower. He scored in the cup, didn't he, against Leeds?
Scored
Yeah.
I never scored at Fulham away when we beat them because I was there.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 that year.
Yeah, I think lower.
Hey, I'm going to say lower.
It was lower. And
Woo! I got one
2 goals.
right. I got one right.
It's a 50-50 chance, Nick.
The next one.
And I just took a guess, Chris, I promise you.
Next one is Darren Anderton, higher
Hey,
or lower than 2?
Yeah, lower.
lower.
Oh,
I don't think he
Oh,
scored.
yeah.
I don't think he scored.
Yeah, the year he
Oh, no,
scored
he
the
did
winner
score.
at
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Scored at Liverpool.
Yeah, scored one.
I think he scored. I think he might have scored.
scored.
Right, don't
Yes,
go.
3.
Just stop discussing where he scored.
I'm going
Have
higher.
you get?
Lower.
He
Higher.
got 3. He scored against the
Yeah.
Baggies when we beat
Higher.
4-0.
Lower.
It is indeed higher. And you are correct, Paul,
Okay.
with 3 goals.
I've got 2 right, please.
I said 3. Just put out.
Karen,
You did
can you
indeed,
get
Claire.
a champagne out, please?
So, next one, Robbie Savage, higher or lower than 3?
Oh, higher.
Oh, higher.
Yeah.
He was our top scorer when he left.
Definitely.
Lower.
Bolton at home.
Ooh, Claire, blimey.
Higher. He
I
scored a,
gave
world,
them
Just higher.
scored a worldie at Fulham, scored against Middlesbrough, scored a penalty
Against
against
Bolton. Scored against
Oh, yeah.
Bolton, didn't
He threw his shirt in the crowd. I threw it back at him. Do you remember against Bolton?
he? Yeah. he had a good free kick on him, didn't he?
You got about 5.
Yeah, I think he's higher.
About 5, yeah.
7.
He is higher, and it's actually 4 goals.
Okay.
Only 4.
Only the 4 in the league that season. So, next on the list, White York, higher or lower than 4?
Hey, that's a really
Lower. Lower.
I'm going higher. I've got 3 right so far. Mark Adams,
Lower.
shut it. I've got 3 right so far.
He only scored against Charlton and
Right,
Blackburn,
you're not supposed to discuss who he's scoring.
I think lower. Yeah.
Newcastle he scored against.
Scored three that
Yeah.
season.
Charlton.
Scored the header, yeah.
So I reckon he only got 2. I'm going to say lower.
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 It is indeed lower, and it is indeed
Oh, gutted.
2 goals. So, next one, Clinton Morrison in that season. Higher or lower?
Higher.
Are we're talking higher than 2 now?
Yeah, higher or lower than 2?
I think he
Higher.
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 That wasn't the Villa season. That wasn't when he scored at Villa against Villa, was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark, you just said a word that is barred.
He scored 2 at Liverpool. He scored 2 at Liverpool in Anfield as well, didn't he? The 2 headers.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
that season.
That season.
Oh, that
That's
season.
the year after.
Okay.
That was the 2 seasons before that was. That was the
Yeah,
first season.
He got
He
one
still
at
scored
Leicester. He got one at Norwich against Norwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Higher.
got one against Baggies as well when we beat him.
Baggies, yeah.
He got higher than 2.
Yeah, he did.
Probably got 4.
I reckon he got about 6.
He actually scored 4. Great
4.
knowledge. And the last one for that particular season, higher or lower than 4, Mikhail Forsell.
Got to be more.
Ooh, he was injured a lot of that season. He was injured a lot.
Yeah, he's probably lower that sign.
Higher, I reckon, just about.
Higher.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
He scored 2 on his debut, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That wasn't in that season. That was the season
Wasn't
before.
it? It was-
Season before.
Going lower.
He got injured the second season. He didn't score many. I think he scored lower than 4.
Sorry, I'm thinking of him.
Second season in the Prem was when he got 17 goals on loan, and then we signed him the following season. Got injured, and he was
Yeah.
out.
I'd say lower.
He only started the season with a great partnership with Heskey. Him and Heskey up front did really well.
Yeah. And then he missed a load of it. Yeah.
He missed a load of that season.
I'm going to say 3 for him that year.
I'm trying to even remember a goal he scored that season. You know,
He played his first game in the cup replay against Torquay in the cup, and I think he got injured again then, and he didn't play for a long time after that. So I'm going to say
lower.
probably didn't score a goal.
I reckon it's lower. I reckon he got about
Might have
2.
scored 1, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So the answer is, it is lower, And Watto, you are correct. He didn't score in that particular season.
Right.
No, that's why I can't remember.
Well, there you go. Well done, Watson. Well done, Watson. Okay, we're into the last 15 minutes of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Goes on, boys. And tonight, the subject is going to be any kind of plant, tree, shrub, anything that grows in your garden. And I'm going to start you off with Dahlia adibola.
Dahlia aloe vera.
Pansiani.
We'll accept flowers as well. Flowers or plants.
Flowers, plants, anything that grows in your garden. Weeds, we'll accept the lot.
So, well, I'm going to put in there Dahlia adibola conkers.
Ashley Cole.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm going with.
Oh, Mark Brooks has got a good one. Tim Flowers. Didn't even have to change that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Owen Soil. Owen Coyle.
Who?
The baggies play at the Hawthorns, don't they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I
Do
don't
you think? Do you think we'll be unchanged on Saturday? Same team, or do you think he'll bring Dembele back?
I think
I think it'll be the same team. I think it'll be
I think
daft if he didn't start that same starting 11.
Yeah, don't break it.
I'm going to go with this one, right? Calathea.
He's Googled this.
What about Marcelo?
Orbifella Martins. Calathea Orbifella Martins.
I've got one from Mama Giblin. She's texted me. Ian Bush instead of Ian Rush.
Ian Bush.
Yeah, okay.
Poor.
What about Marcel Oaktree instead of Oakley?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not good. It's all right. Chris, don't big his head up anymore, Chris.
Mark,
Steve, give him too much credit.
here we go. Mark
Steve
Venus.
if you can't pronounce your ass.
Mark Venus Flytrap on YouTube. Peter Weed.
Tim Sunflowers.
Marcel Oakley. Chrysanthemum Dugarry.
Yeah.
No, I've got one for that. Yeah, you ready for this? This could be the best thing I've ever said all year.
Oh, go on.
Chris Gardenia.
Chris.
Ian Ashton.
That's true.
There's
Craig Gardner.
Yeah.
I know, ignore me. That's not a plant, is it?
No.
Yeah, but it's something to do with plants, so I'll give you that one. No,
Yeah,
Gary Gardner then if you're going to give him that one.
Slightly related.
Gary Gardner, Craig Gardner. We're on a roll.
So, Mummy Giblin thought it was that good, she'd do it again.
I know, but I told her to put it on.
Oh, okay.
How about Cactus Davies?
Danny Rose.
Oh, God, right now. No, you're dragging the barrel, kid. I promise you.
Walter Panziani.
We've also got Dave Twine has said Ian Catkins.
I like that one.
Gregory Beasley has said Trevor Cherry.
On a first thought, Craig.
Steve Job. Martin Highgranger. That's very, very clever. News has gone for Pep Gladioli. Dom Kavanagh has said Tony Cottonista. Nigel Mann has also said Stemi Martins.
Stemi.
That's Hoppers of Zurich.
I want to go Lily Savage.
That one?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Lily Savage.
Dom Kavanagh has also said Triffid Francis.
Trivia. That's a good one.
Thank you, Sonny. But
Did you have Olive Branch Burke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce? Steve Bruce? Come on,
Brett Stanley.
Well done,
Brett Stanley may have won
Well done,
with Forget Me Not County.
That's a good one.
What about the Tilton Stork show?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, no, hang on, right.
What about Mark Adams over here?
Paul,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who said
No,
that?
that's a plant,
Tilton
not a plant.
Hey, I said it.
Mark Adams.
Bark.
Mark Adams.
Bark Adams.
Barclay, you'd have.
Barclay.
That's Barkley, yeah.
And they come up with Matthew Buttercupson.
I love that
We've got Pete Taylor with Rowan Vine.
I'm going to go for Juniper Bellingham.
Yeah.
Mark Brooks has said Kevin Pond.
says Fabregas.
Fabregas, yeah.
Well done, off grid. Weren't that good.
Michael Woods has said Rude Becky Van Nistelrooy.
What about Moss Barkley instead of Ross?
I did that 5 minutes ago, right?
That was gone.
You know, Mark.
Brutally taken down by Claire Giblin.
It really is a plank, not plants. So, Mark, we're starting keeping you out of it.
Lampard.
Plank Lampard.
Plank Lampard.
Plank Lampard, yeah.
Oh, Nigel, man, I quite like that one with Craig Courtney on a thorn.
Wow.
It's really thinking about it now.
That's clever.
Nicky Plantenauer.
Oh, Nicky Plattner, yeah.
Roger Hydrangea.
I like that one.
Very good.
What about Leaf? What about Leaf Farhi?
That's not bad.
Leaf Farhi, yeah.
Leaf Farhi.
Yeah.
Michael Woods has gone for Graham Plant Potter. Ray
Willie,
Stanley, Willie Bluebell.
yeah, for the older viewers like Nicola Twigich.
Nicola Twiggy.
Jimmy Bloomfield.
Jimmy Bloomfield.
I'll go for Leaf Cardsley.
Very good. Lee Parsley. Very good. Lee Parsley.
They got apple
Yeah, but
tree.
that's not. But right, leaf is not a plant, is it? It's like part of a plant.
It's in the garden and leafies.
You just-
Parsley.
Rose.
It is,
It's
mate.
still technically a flower. It's a leaf.
Paul Hansen.
Where's
Holly
the-
Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Where's the
That's
music?
Not
good.
bad.
Chris Wood, Land.
Dave Twine might be pushing it a bit because he's gone for Noel Blakebird.
Yeah.
I think Brucey's comfortably in second, isn't he, for the managers?
In terms of votes, yeah.
Brucey, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty close with Trev, wasn't it, as well?
Somebody called Jill Giblin's gone with Harry Tomato Cane.
Well done, Mum. I'm proud of you for that one.
Andy Bonham
Oh,
with Mickey Waterbutt.
Graham Wilborough. Kenny
Graham. What?
Mark Birchall.
I'm just
I'm
reading.
not going to let you say that one.
Okay, then. Kenny Cockburn Burnsiosaurus. Anus. Oh, no, I can't say that one. It's got anus on the end. Rowan Twine. Bobby Sycamore.
Yeah.
Peter
Pete
Reed.
Enkelman.
What about Sheddy Howe?
Yeah, see, do decking.
Yeah.
Did we think any more about the best
No,
assist?
that's been.
Oh yeah, I must say well done to the chap who came up with the best assist last week. The Enkelman assist.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Malberg, yeah.
brilliant.
Malberg to Enkelman.
Oh, what a
That's brilliant answer that was.
classic,
A night.
Robbie Cabbage.
yeah, you can have that one. Well done.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no.
You know what? Yeah, Chris, I love an accolade now and again, just occasionally.
Yeah. An accolade, is that like an anchovy?
Leak. That is.
That means we can have Olive Malberg then, right? If we're talking about him.
Yeah, we can have
Yeah.
Olive Malberg, yeah. Brett Stanley's gone with Clarence Seed Orff.
Yes. See.
Nicky Forrest.
Or Nottingham Forest. Yeah.
Alan Shears instead of Shearer.
No, it's not a plant. It's
Nick
got
Grace, Jasper Carrot.
Oh, why did we not think of that one?
At which point, I'm going to go with Olaf Malberg instead of Malberg
Yeah.
because Mal's are in your garden. John Muddy from Paul Hansen.
Stem John.
John.
Stem John.
Gary Mander's gone with Bert Sproutman.
Yeah.
I like that one, Sprout. I do like the plate of sprouts, ladies and gents, girls and boys.
Ethan Ladegrass. Hydrangea, David Seedman.
Nice one, nice
Did you
one.
have Harry Kale?
Kale. Oh, yeah, Kale.
Kale is a vegetable. It's a green vegetable, very similar to a piece of cabbage. Claire, very well done. I quite like it.
Yeah.
Question for Mark Meredith. Mark, who's the best player you've ever coached? And was he at Blues?
Good question.
Can't say Jude.
Yeah. No, I'd actually say best, obviously Jude's ability, but Max Bird is probably one of my better ones. I actually took, Max was at Birmingham, and then when I went to Derby, I took Max with me as a U10 maybe. And there was a compensation package that they had to pay Birmingham at that age. And obviously now he's the captain of Derby. And and doing pretty well. So, you know, his family was great, and he was, you know, you could just see at his age that he was going to be a good player. So he's a good one. But there's a lot, you know, I've been around quite a few.
Nathan Redmond, Mark.
Redmond was there, yeah. Damari Gray, you know, Jack Butland, obviously goalkeeping wise. So got spoiled. And then there's even players like Mitchell McPike and players like that we thought were really going to go in a direction and then dropped out a little bit.
Mark, how did you feel knowing, obviously, you had been involved with the coaching of Jude, and for his comments when he picked up the Young Ballon d'Or award the other day? Because I loved the fact that he immediately recognised the club, but also...
Sorry, was that the Ballon d'Or?
He was a Young Ballon d'Or award, wasn't it? Is it the Copper,
isn't it? Oh,
what I found with Jude on all his interviews and stuff is that he's always been very thankful for everything that's happened with him. You know, he's such a down to earth guy, and he basically, you know, he's very thankful for everything. And I didn't do massive amounts, obviously, on the field with him. The Mike Dodds and people like that were his head coaches. Obviously, he still keeps in touch with all of those guys, but yeah, just hearing things he says, it's amazing that he thinks back and he's thankful. And again, you know, a lot of these players are the same. A lot of these players don't have, you know, massive interviews like Bellingham's had just for where he is right now, but you go back, and I still keep in touch with a lot of the boys that we were involved in those years, and they're very level-headed, and they're very much thankful of what happened, regardless of how much you had with them. If it was only tiny pieces of their coaching or massive parts of their years at either Birmingham or everywhere else, they're so thankful for it. So it's great. It's great to, you know, it's big for me to be able to see academy kids go into these first teams. And that's one thing that I really like at, you know, especially at Blues, because, you know, being a Birmingham fan myself, it was always a dream of mine just to be at the training ground as a academy coach. So to see some of these guys that are there from such a young age make it into the first team, regardless if you've worked with them directly or just been a part of the setup, is amazing.
Great stuff. Here we go. We've got a few more to come in then. So we've got Hyde Granger.
Nick, one for you. Nigel Mann said Ricky Otto, and then he went, oops, wrong plant content. We've got Wayne Rhubarb from Steve Job.
Jeff Horseradish Field.
Chris Whitefly from Dave Twine. Ashley Coleshed from Andy Bonner. We've also got the Amazon Frayne Forest from Jason Hughes.
Frayne Forest.
Would you have Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Could you have Trevor Allotment instead of Trevor Allott?
Trevor
Allotment.
Jason Hughes has definitely been thinking a lot about these, because he's also come up with Scott Dandelion.
I like that one.
My dad just sent me one. He said Jimmy Bloomfields.
Yeah.
What about Bert Troutman? Beat Troutman.
Brett Stanley has gone for Ian Pesticides.
Mark, you think too hard.
Right then, Nick. It's Nicholas. It is time to say.
It is. Wow. It is. Wow. This has been the Tilton Talk Show. Going to say goodnight to the team. Chris Browne.
Good night.
Hello, Giblin.
Good night. See you on Saturday, those who are travelling.
Paul Hipkiss.
Pleasure as always. Get them entries in for the 27 kick-ups to be beat.
Mark Adams.
Good night, everyone. Have a brilliant week. Take care.
Mark Meredith.
Even though
Craig Courtney.
Right, all. Watch out for the tickets for the ladies, and good luck at the weekend. Keep right on.
Chair of the board, Alan Watton.
Good night, everybody.
Have I forgotten anybody?
One boy.
Who?
One boy.
John Boy.
Good night, Jim Bob.
By the way,
All the best. See you later. Bye-bye.
I will be wearing the same trousers as Jude Bellingham when we do the awards. Okay, so just
Chris, you've had them on for a year, yeah?
I just want to warn you. Okay.
Have a shave, Chris, please.
Ladies and gents, this has been the Tilton Talk Show. Good night, God bless, take care. Have a great week and keep on.
Good night,
Good night, Greg.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Claire.
Does anyone know how to get rid of the onion smell? My feet smell like onion.
I'm ready.
Mark, you're warm.
Bye, Mummy Giblin.
Bye, Mum. Love you.
I thought I'd
Wash your socks, Mark. Wash your socks.
I will. They'll be ready for the awards.
Onion feet.
Cheese and onion together, Mark. You could never have wished for a better time.
I ain't told you about my armpits.
Oh, yeah, but Mark, I can't.
Up the street food.
I can't
Put
believe
the
you said
pies
your
in a
feet
box.
smell of onions.
Double quarter pounder of cheese, Mark. What do you reckon?
Cheese and bunions.
Your bunions smell of onions.
I'm going to go and iron my trousers.
What a statement, Chris. What a statement.
I need to do something.
Nails for extra crunch, Mark. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I've got a snake belt as well.